channeling the spell. This is going to be a Firaga. It doesn't kill somehow, and it kills Naiads to land a kill. Oh my god! Here, apparently not, because she is going for the back line. This is instant casting. Might have a chance.
What's up, everybody? My name is KSaun. Welcome back to the WDL. This is Season 4, Week 6 of the Rundall League. And we've got some good battles coming up for you guys. Let's take a look at the standings, though, before we head into the battles. We've got Chisei in first place, coach of Hopeless Heroes with a 6-1 record. Very impressive. Did take his first loss of the season last week to our second place team, Itomanpr, coach of the 139ers. This is important because even though Itomanpr is in second right now, technically Itomanpr does control his own destiny for the first seed, as he has the same amount of losses. He has just played one less game than Chisei, because this league only has 11 players. In third place, we have King Delita, coach of Fanatical players with a 5-2 record, doing very well for himself. And then we have a two-way tie currently for fourth place between my team, the Los Angeles Ramzas, and Sweetheart's team, Fundamental Forces. Quistis, coach of Cosplay Party, is 4-3 at the moment. And if the season were to end right now, those would be your playoff teams. However, Manta, coach of Addison, Manta Raes, has something to say about it, sitting at 3-3 at the moment. Proto of Succor Punch is 2-3. Mr. Aloha is 1-5 with No Glove, No Love. And Unhindered, coach of Roar of the Storm, at 1-6. Those are all of the teams who could potentially make the playoffs. Unfortunately for AllSmokedUp, my character Romance hasn't been able to get in the win column yet, but I know he is trying to search for that these last few weeks. So that is how the standings shake out, guys. We've got 6 awesome battles for you guys on the map of Leonis Castle vicinity. It should be a good time, so let's jump into the battles. All right, guys, first battle of week number 6 for the Rundall League. And it looks like we've got Proto's Succor Punch versus Mr. Aloha's No Glove, No Love. And it looks like King Bradley, Lorenzo, and Nasha versus Glaciella was at Valade and the Amnilus. So this should be interesting. Looks like Ice Water versus Ice and Earth. And who's going to get the better end of this deal? Is Valade's going to start channeling that AoE buff, Ice Vitalization. Fantastic. Accuracy, Protect, Hate Down, all the stuff you really want. Lorenzo going to go Keen Blade here. Just going to be very useful for this type of team. Slash Attack going to benefit everybody on the party. Boon of the Lion. This is a fantastic turn rotation coming out for Mr. Aloha here. So it gets that AoE resist on the entire party. Poise going to be here for Bradley, so he's got his courage. And he's ready to go. Hour of Restoration coming out from the Analyst. So they're going to have that heal back in case they get low, which Bradley is going to look to try and bring them low here. As Bar Blizzard is going to come out. Tons of stat gains. And obviously with both teams starting on the opposite corners of the map, it could take a while for this fight to really start to kick off. As it looks like the Protect and the reaction block rate, all that kind of stuff is there for Lorenzo. Glaciella gets her massive single target buff off. An Immortal Spirit here, Courage Online for Nasha. And all these units are going to get an opportunity to use pretty much every single buff in their kit. There might even be one more turn of buffing before the damage really kicks off. Although Glaciella does have decent range with her Leap Strike, she might be able to reach on next turn. But Amnil is going to take her time. She doesn't want to enter the fight just yet. She's going to go another Hour of Restoration, and the store is there for Glaciella. So she is in a dangerous position here with Lorenzo and Bradley encroaching. As Lorenzo's going to pop up into the sky, how much damage can she soak from this King Bradley? Helm Splitter comes out for 7,800. That is a very good start. The Hour of Restoration does heal her back up, though, which is nice. Valade's starting to channel. Not going to go for a heal. Because of the heal back, she's not low enough to proc that, I think. As the Dive of Destruction comes out from Lorenzo, removes the Protect as well. And Glaciella is not going to live another hit, so she needs to put in some work. I'd say that. I meant from Bradley and Lorenzo. As Daunting Blade comes out from the Nasha, she'll live that. But she needs to get a bunch of AoE damage here. Surefire Burst is a good start, though. 6k onto the Bradley. He should be able to take out this Glaciella, though. He's going to with just a standard attack. Says, I'll save my AP, thank you very much. As Valade coming in, not going to be in range for a full life yet. Going to go Dispel, actually. Could be pretty useful to nullify some of that haste coming out from Bradley. Amnilus should be able to proc the Courage, I would think here. Ternary Seal going to do just that. Almost takes out the Nasha. Good lord, that was a ton of damage. Lorenzo going to jump up into the sky there. And both of these units hanging onto the skin of their teeth here. 1 health. Calculated Rend. Going to heal up the Valade, did not proc onto the Amnilus. She is below her courage threshold, and Lorenzo is going to take her out. That is massive, as Taunting Blade coming out, 1,800 damage. Valade needs to land a full life to have a chance in this fight. She's going to go for the Amnilus. She's going to come back. Does she get a ternary seal off? No, King Bradley's going to go next. I imagine going to find a calculated rent. He is going to do just that. He's going to bring her down. And Lorenzo, as long as he can kill before she gets that ternary seal off, this fight is over. He's going to go for the standard attack. Mr. Aloha, and no glove, no love, shows no love to the other team as they pick up their second win of this season. Huge congratulations. Next up to bat, we've got the Hopeless Heroes versus My Character Romance. Chisei versus AllSmokedUp. AllSmokedUp still searching for that first win of the season. Unfortunately, he has to go up against the top of the table right now, the Hopeless Heroes. Can he manage to pull off an upset here? I will say, looking at his team comp, he's got Helena Leonis, Elsorel, and Venera. Elsorel could be a fantastic answer to this team. She has an excellent attack and Blade of Inertia that is a double single target skill that drops defense. That could actually do very good damage to this Helena if she's able to go for that. As the Leonis barrier is here for the Elda. Gives him everything he needs. It gives that physical barrier, hate, courage, unit attack, resist, all the good stuff. And Elsorel is going to come out immediately with the limit break. This is bad news for AllSmokedUp. I expect this to be tanked up quite well by Elda, and this soaks up so much of her AP. She is not going to be able to get that Blade of Inertia off. It does drop the AP cost rate, which is nice, but I don't think it's going to be enough. She's only got like 6 AP right now, and unless she buffs on the next turn, she's not going to be able to use it, and she's going to have to be able to do that a couple times, especially with this light resist boost coming in from shells. Helena going to close the gap, though. Should be able to go for damage. Going to go for the Devastation. 5,500 here. As it looks like Helena's closing the gap. Going to go for the Kurita. 5,500 damage. I think Devastation is non-elemental, so I wonder if there's a ton of Dark Resist stacked on AllSmokedUp side. That is very possible here. As Venera's going to start this off with a Dark Art hidden in haste. This does have a chance to poison, which could deal a good amount to Elda. Units with big old amount of tank stats and big HP bars. Poison can be effective. It does land. Stun Blade, though. Man, with that AP cost rate down, she didn't do herself any favors. She actually uses another ability instead of buffing. And that is just so unlucky here for AllSmokedUp. As the Paired Blessing comes out, regen and extra damage. Helena should be able to deal a good chunk to this Elsorel, though. What is she going to go for? She's going to start channeling. This might be an AoE. No, it's a Drain. And that, I think, is kind of confirming what I'm thinking. I think she's going for non-elemental damage right now. And she's not going for the AoE on to Venera, which makes me think she probably doesn't have the accuracy. The guaranteed hit comes out from Elda. And that's kind of affirming what I think as well. I think this Venera is too dodgy for these units to hit without guaranteed hits. But we're going to find out as Venera's going to go for the Mug. Honestly, pretty decent damage. I think gives herself some AP back, and a General Dispel is strong. And that is the Black Rose Judgment. That is the guaranteed hit coming out from Helena. Does not one-shot the Venera. Helena should hopefully be able to heal her back up. But Shells is going to come in time with a heal onto this Elda as he is poisoned. Poison would eat through the Courage, but it's not going to matter here as the Curative Prayer is going to heal him back up. The Cure will come out on a Venera as well as the Piercing Vengeance. Elda going to stab his own wife in the back here. How could you, sir? As Helen is going to go next. She's going to start channeling another spell. Is it another Black Rose Judgment? Yes, it is. Venera is going to drop. The guaranteed hit is there. And this is basically a guaranteed win for Chisei. As Kurita is going to come out. Elda Leonis is going to have to take her out here in a moment as the Paired Blessing just going to be refreshed. Maybe we'll get some Helena on Helena action. Probably not the kind that some of you guys are out there for, but Helena's going to start channeling a spell. Black Rose Judgment, 13,000 damage will take her down. And that is a win for Chisei and the Hopeless Heroes, who continue to be full of hope. And let's check out the next battle. Next up, we've got Itomanpr and the 139ers versus Manta and the Addison Manta Raes. Itomanpr looking to try and keep pace with Chisei. Won the head-to-head against him last week, currently walking in with only one loss. Manta is trying to make that 2, though, as the Addison Manta Raes are looking to try and keep up in that top 6 playoff push. Sweet support coming out, so double Pierce comp alongside with the Zazan. Glaciella Flagbearer, Velen, and Zazan versus Mia, Sodali, and Halloween Lucia, excuse me, as Spell of Fortification comes out. Big old physical health shield, going to be very nice against the Velen and Glaciella. Really, the only barrier break they have is on Glaciella up close and personal. As Fight Like a Pirate coming out from the Zazan as he tries to traverse the battlefield very quickly. Does he bait out the Sodali? Yes, he does, but he's going to catch a charm for his troubles. Zazan, the original Charm Master, is going to get charmed by Sodali on the other side. There it is. There it lands. 6,900 damage, a very nice amount. As Glaciella is going to come out here with a Jealous Wrath of her own. So she says, hey, nice status effect. I'm going to try and get my own going here. With the Vega TMR being used, Night Hunter 6,300 is a good start for Manta here. This is a very even fight at the moment. Slowpoke from Mia honestly does Manta a favor, as now Zazan is no longer charmed. He is hasted up, ready to deal some damage here. Can he take out the Sodali? This would be massive for Manta if he can seal this kill here. He's got 42 AP. He's got Jamming Edge. He does not kill. Gets the counter cure. However, crucially, he uses the Jamming Edge, which drops the healing power, which means that counter cure did not do nearly enough. Sodali going to take out the Zazan. It is now a 3v2 advantage, but Glaciella dispels that Sodali as he is going to drop. It is now into a 2v2, and this is a very close fight. Night Hunter coming up from the Velen is going to take about half of Mia's health bar away. What does she return with? Slowpoke. She dodges. The Velen dodges the Mia here. Unit attack resist gets dropped, but she doesn't take any damage. The problem is, this is an increased accuracy spell coming out from Halloween Lucia. She has guaranteed hits, and this is not guaranteed, but it does have increased accuracy. It comes out for 6k. The arcane shot is not enough to seal the deal here, though. Velen should be able to attack again. Glaciella in range for a Dispelling Spear Flight, but not in range for an AoE to try and get through that barrier for Lucia. The standard attack comes out from Velen. And this very quickly, I think, is going to be a 1v1, as Halloween Lucia should be able to take out Velen. Toad's Curse is going to come out. That is a dead frog, as it looks like a 1v1 is here. Halloween Lucia versus Glaciella. The HP advantage obviously on Glaciela's side, but not really, as there's a 7,500 physical health shield for Lucia. Who's going to get the better end of this deal? Valkyrie Burst comes out, which will be nice to increase the ability for herself to chain with herself. She also gets that Courage and AP Auto Restore. Halloween Lucia, though, can she land a Toad? If she lands a Toad, this fight is over. No, she's going to go Curses comes in 3, so eats through that 3-hit barrier. Arcane Shot going to do a nice little bit of chip after the fact. Glaciella, though, with some AP Auto Restore, has plenty of AP for this fight. Barrier Break Lance kills the barrier, but 2,700 is not probably enough for Manta here. Halloween Lucia should not be able to one-shot. Does she land the Toad? 5,500, it does not land, but the Arcane Shot procs the Courage, crucially, just enough damage to get the Courage on. As it looks like Crossbreak is going to come out. 3,700. Who's going to go next? It's going to be Halloween Lucia. Does she have an instant cast to kill her here? Or does Glaciella get to go again? Or does she reflex? There is none of that. It is instant cast. There is no reflex. It is the Dark Siren Esper coming out. The Chaotic Voice is going to win the victory for this chaotic game for the 139ers and Itomanpr. That was a hell of a fight. Honestly, that ended up being very, very close. If the Arcane Shot didn't proc that Courage, I think Glaciella wins that. Even one Reflex or something like that could have done him in as well. So very, very well played to Manta, and obviously very well played, as always, to Itomanpr, who continues his hot streak. He has only one loss on the season. It was to me. I'm going to give myself a little shout out, but man, he is crushing this season. It's very, very good to see. Let's check out the next fight. Next fight is between Sucker Punch and Cosplay Party. Proto versus Quistis. Quistis, first fight this week. Proto looking for revenge here, looking for a second opportunity at a win. As it looks like Proto is running a double Pierce strategy with Jaden the Celebrated, Glaciella was at alongside Valade, full Ice Water, and we've seen this Staff Devout team coming out from Quistis on multiple occasions. It is very strong with Golbez, Renan, and the Resnick here. She's going to give herself that hate down, which is obviously massive, as the Law of Refuge is there. Golbez going to start channeling a spell. Valade should be able to get Protect on the entire party, accuracy up, all that good stuff. I assume that is what he is going to opt for here, as he's thinking long and hard about this decision. I'm going to make this decision easy for you. It's actually the Ice Vitalization. It is exactly what I said. The Protect, it's the hate down, accuracy, all that good stuff. Umbral Calling coming out from the Golbez, going to give that unit attack resist up as well. A very nice buff. And their initial turn rotation looking very clean for both sides here. The Revitalize is here for Jaden. The one struggle he honestly has is AP issues, otherwise a fantastic unit. So as long as we don't see the Wind Veritas TMR coming out here, this is looking pretty decent early for Proto. Valade should be able to get another buff off. This should be the Barblizera. But he's thinking about it. Barblizera comes out, Ice and Wind attack resistance. Obviously those won't matter a whole lot, but it does give him some nice stats as well with the Agility, Attack, Magic. Domain of Lightning coming out from the Renan. And this is one of those situations on this map. It's one or the other. You can either bait out the other team very, very quickly, or it takes an extremely long time to join the fight if they are in the opposite corner. And that is one of the situations we're seeing right now, especially with so many casters on the battlefield, because they don't really want to walk forward. They just want to keep buffing each other. As it looks like Celebrated Jaden's actually out of buffs. The set the pace. The Addison Ray TMR coming out from Glaciella, so trying to dispel any haste that may come out, which would have to be from a TMR, I believe. I don't think there's any other sort of haste spell that could come out. As it looks like the Grace of Eternal Friendship is there. The original Black-Robed Witch Helena TMR. 3-hit shield and some agility. And man, oh man, we're going to see so many buffs come out as finally Golbez is going to try and start joining the fight as he's going to go Zombie TMR. We've seen before Quistis try and run Keenblade, but he does go for the re-raise. I will say the Haste TMR on Renan, it looks like the Addison Ray TMR might pay some dividends here if they are able to dispel that on that Lightning Mage as Arcane Acuity is coming out. So I take it back. He is not out of buffs. Glaciella is going to start walking forward. Valade, are you out of buffs? He's never out of buffs. He will always refresh pretty much any turn that he can. He goes for another Ice Vitalization, which is very nice to see for Proto, as that will be up for a few turns yet. Renan might be able to finally starting this fight. Yes, he can. Ball Lightning Plus is a general barrier break, not a magic barrier break. So that is huge. That gets rid of the giant health shield that Jaden would have. Obviously, it wouldn't really matter versus these mage units anyway, actually. But he's going to break it. Golbez is going to go for a limit break here. Going to take out the Celebrated Jaden. He's going to drop it. It's now a 3v2 advantage for Quistis here. Surefire Burst going to remove the haste, but it really doesn't do much damage at all. As Renan is going to start trying to return some damage as well. And this is looking very, very good for Quistis at the moment. And this is a Lightning Mage into Glaciella. I expect this to deal a good amount of damage. The full life does land on a Jaden, though, which is going to turn this fight on its head a little bit. Thunderbolt, crucially, does not one-shot. These two units might be able to get an opportunity to deal some damage. Oceanic Protection going to come in, though, and going to mitigate some of that water damage from the Glaciella here. So Jaden the Celebrated, what does he have in store for us? Might be able to find a limit break, and he is going to do so. Dance of the Stag King. This is going to drop that Pierce attack resistance. How much damage can he get done, though? He's going to go for 10.7k onto the Golbez. Golbez going to be re-raised here. And what does Golbez have for a follow-up? So he comes back from the re-raise. He's ready to deal damage. Fangs of Despair coming out. 3,900. Going to drop the Glaciella. Dealing a good chunk to the Jaden as well. And Quistis, again, looking to be in a really good position. And it looks like Renan coming in for the Unavailable Pain is going to seal the deal. Jaden is going to drop. It is now a 3v1 at the moment. Quistis about to take this win, I believe. It looks like the full life, or the raise rather, not going to catch on to the Glaciella. And it looks like Cosplay Party is having a party at the moment. Is Law of Invigoration going to top up this Golbez? And who can take this kill onto the Valade? He's going to start entering here. He's going to start channeling spell. Abyssal Quasar will deal about half of the health. Renan should be able to claim this kill, I think, with a Ball Lightning Plus. It's going to seal the deal. And unfortunately for Sucker Punch and Proto, not going to be able to pick up a win this week. But a huge congratulations to Cosplay Party and Quistis. Two more fights remaining in this week, guys. We've got Roar of the Storm, coached by Unhindered versus Fundamental Forces, coached by Sweetheart. And it looks like Starlight Elena alongside Sylvie. And Lorela on the other side, actually, is the full comp coming out, as it looks like Unhindered going with his traditional Elda, King of the Lions, alongside the Agris and the Shell this time. Try and get some Time Mage action going. We'll see if it pays off for him. It looks like they are on the same side as Lorela. This could end up working out decently well for Unhindered if they're able to take out that Archer before closing the gap on the other two. We'll have to see here, though. A Shell goes for the Aurora of Blessings. Looks like maybe a height range issue to not be able to catch the Elda Leonis here, or Elda King of the Lions, rather. As it looks like Lorela's going to approach, going to go for the Mega Charge. 2,000, not bad. I didn't see a unit attack resist drop. I'm assuming it dropped, unless there is debuff resistance there for Agris, but not sure. As it looks like Evildoers Beware there for Starlight Elena, getting that evasion up. Fortress of the Lion coming out from the Elda, getting that nice 5,000 HP barrier online. And this will be interesting here. Sylvie, is she going to close in and get another buff here? She's going to go for Momentum, actually. She's going to go Selfish buff here with the King Bradley TMR, getting that haste on. Agris with the Taunting Blade is just going to one-shot the Lorela. Poor girl didn't stand a chance. It looks like Unhindered's out to an early 3v2 advantage here. Now my big question just is there enough accuracy on Unhindered's side to hit the Starlight Elena? That is the big question, I think, here. As Sylvie should be able to walk forward here. I don't think she has any other buffs to go for. Maybe goes for the re-raise on herself. No, she's just going to walk forward. Starlight Elena don't think has used a TMR yet. No, she has not, and that's a Deceptive Mist. And again, I think I called this out last week. As the Lion's Drain dealing a good chunk of damage, this is the Wind Dagger units. For whatever reason, that name is still slipping me, but it gives nice agility and AoE resist. Saintly Wall coming out from the Agrius, though, tells me that she probably does not have the accuracy to hit Elena. So this is Elda or bust on the side of Unhindered. But that is a good unit to rely on if you're going to go for it. Quicken going to land on the Agrius is a little bit unfortunate because I think she's not going to be able to hit her, but she does go for the Sylvie, which could be huge, actually. If this Confusion lands, this will stop the full life from happening as she's channeling it. That's huge. Agrius landing the Confusion could help this Unhindered pick up a win here. Starlight Elena has something to say about it, though. She's got 3,800 HP. She's got plenty of AP. And she's going to go for the Limit Break. This is a really awkward angle, but she goes for the Prismatic Punishment on the tank. Can she start chewing through this Agrius' health bar? As she hits a 3-hit chain here. Gets the agility down as well. Shell, is she in range to land a Quicken on Agrius? I don't think so. It's going to go onto the Elda, I believe, which could work out perfectly here, as Unhindered's going to go right before Unhindered's Elda, rather, as Lion's Drain going to proc the Courage on Starlight Elena. The Quicken's going to land, and can he take her out here? Lion's Drain coming through again. A little bit unfortunate that he had to go for that a second time. Couldn't kill with the standard attack, but this is looking very good for Unhindered at the moment. As Agrius with 12 AP, looks like can't close the gap. Shell going to channel another Quicken here. And Sylvie is just sitting here confused, not knowing what the hell to do with herself. Lands the Confusion onto Unhindered's Agrius, though. Quicken coming out. And the Elda with 28 AP going to go Spirit Throw of Undoing. Almost kills the Sylvie. But Agrius should be able to clean this up here, I think. Never mind. She does not have the accuracy to kill Sylvie. Okay, that was a bit surprising. Sylvie might actually be able to get a full Limit Break off here, because apparently Agrius does not have the accuracy to kill her. She is sitting with 156 HP at the moment. She's thinking long and hard about this. This has to be the Limit Break. I don't know why else she would take this long. It is that. So she's going to fully heal herself. Just going to try and delay this. There is a world where Unhindered runs out of guaranteed hits here, though. Quicken coming out. I mean, it's not even a guaranteed hit for Elda. It's just an increased hit, I believe. And he is out of AP and apparently out of buffs. He has no more buffs to go for. I'm shocked that he doesn't have another buff to do. Oh, God. This is going to be really bad. Oh, my goodness. Sylvie's going to go for a full life here. Agrius doesn't have a way to hit, and Elda doesn't have any buffs. He's not going to have a way to gain AP back. You've got to be kidding me. If Sylvie lands his full life, this could be trouble. Shell is going to start channeling us something again, and Elda is sitting still. Dispel Eroder is going to dispel buffs, but if this full life lands, which it does, you've got to be kidding me. Starlight Elena's back. There's 7 actions left, you guys. Starlight Elena, if she's able to kill this Agrius, Crystal Shine Bright deals a good chunk. But this Agrius, I don't think it has anything that she could do. There are 6 actions left. Elda has nothing to do with 5 actions left. Does go for the standard attack this time. I don't know why he didn't try to do that to Sylvie last time. Oh, he couldn't move around the dead body, but why didn't he get closer to her? I'm still so confused why he didn't try and do that, but Cheerful Paladin Strike takes out the Agrius. Oh my goodness. A Sweetheart is going to win this on turns. I'm almost certain. Iridescent Blade's going to take out the Shell. You have got to be kidding me. This is the most insane comeback I've ever seen in my entire life in this fight. Elda cannot land the attack. And Starlight Elena, regardless of whether she kills here, which Crystal Shine Bright does barely anything because that HP barrier is still online, Sweetheart is going to win this fight. You guys, you've got to be kidding me. What the hell just happened? I am stunned. I am absolutely stunned. Elda had no buffs to go for anymore because he still had his HP barrier active. So he didn't want to use it again because he already had his HP barrier there. So the AI doesn't know to go for it. He apparently couldn't standard attack to get AP. He didn't have the accuracy to do it. I'm still so surprised that the AI doesn't know to move closer to Sylvie because he went for a standard attack on Elena. There's no way Sylvie's more evasive than Elena, which means that if he took a turn to move closer and then on the next turn went for a standard attack, he might have been able to hit and get AP. But that is the most crazy thing I've ever seen. I got to be honest with you guys. Unhindered shot me a message before this fight and said it was a summary of how his season is going, and I am just heartbroken for him after this fight. Sweetheart is awesome, and I am super happy for her to pick up a win, but I am heartbroken for Unhindered with the way this fight ended. He had this won convincingly, and Sylvie in like 100 HP in a dream they couldn't hit her, and she brought Starlight Elena back, and they won this. This is both the coolest and most heartbreaking fight like I've seen in a while. This is just absolutely crazy. So I've torn up for Unhindered here in this fight, but super happy for Sweetheart to be able to pull that off. That was a heck of a fight. We've got one more for you guys. Final fight of week 6 is going to be between my team, the Los Angeles Ramzas, and the Fanatical Flares, coached by King Delita. And you're going to see I'm running the same team that I ran last week against Manta here. I'm running Winter Ravies Grifford alongside Lemure. And I'm running with the AoE buff from Ravies, Keenblade coming out from the Grifford into the Hastaja from this Lemure. I really like this setup because it allows my team to just get really hasty, allows them to get multiple buffs off before starting the fight or anything like that. On the other side from King Delita, though, running a very interesting composition, a team he hasn't run yet, double Earth units, expecting some lightning out of me. I did not get baited, though, by the lightning units, as I am going to run some ice into it. He pops the Wind Veritas TMR. He's got the Oberon, he's got the Dagger, and he's also got Mediana to deal the good damage, but I have my good fortune on my side. I have the TMR from the More the Merrier to get that shell and crit evasion on the entire team. Popping the Elda King of the Lions TMR on Ravies to try and get any sort of haste removal that might come up. Also allowing her to just take turns quicker because it does give herself some CT as well. As I've got Grifford popping his buff, walking forward. Roar of the Lion's going to be refreshed on Winter Ravies as well. And I've got a Quicken charged up for Lemure immediately after Grifford takes his turn. So I am hoping that Grifford can get some damage off before the Quicken hits him. We'll see if it pays off for me, though, as the Auto Life Ward coming out. Getting the re-raise on a Dagger is very, very nice. Grifford is in range for a Limit Break here, and this is crucial because it is landing before Oberon finishes his Barrier Summon here, as 2,000 and then another 3k is a 5k damage start for Grifford, dropping the AoE resist. He's going to catch the Quicken immediately before this Oberon can get his Limit Break on. The Frost Axe is going to take him out, and I am at an early 3v2 advantage here as the Quicken timing works just perfectly for me here. As Winter Ravies is fresh out of buffs, she has absolutely nothing left to do. Lemure says, hey, you guys ran out of your haste already. I am going to refresh it for you, though, and give herself some hate down in the process. Mediana, though, packs a punch. She is looking to try and close the gap and deal some damage. She's starting to channel a spell here, though. Grifford goes for the Mortal Draw, removes that re-raise. That would have been in the way. The Auto Potion comes out, so it's basically like he did no damage, but removing the re-raise is obviously helpful. Dagger going to start channeling a spell, though, as the Barb Blizzard comes out. Getting that ice attack resistance can be useful against my team. Dark Mega Flare, soaked up fairly well, dealing just shy of 3,000 to both of the units. The Kira obviously not going to do anything as she was already full health, but the Winter Ravies is going to go for the Limit Break. She says, hey, you guys need some Frostbite. I'm going with this big old ice snowball, going to throw it on top of their heads. An okay amount of damage, honestly soaked up pretty well by the Mediana, better than I would have expected, to be completely honest, as the Quicken comes out from Lemure, though, landing perfectly timed again as the Ravies gonna go for the Great Guillotine, and Mediana is not going to be able to act in this fight here, as Grifford is next up to bat. He's fresh out of AP, so he's just going to standard attack to try and get that AP up. With the haste, he does not quite lap, though, so it looks like Garnet isn't going to act next. And she's going to go for her Limit Break. It's going to be a big heal as Prayer of Purity comes out. This is a really cool Limit Break animation. I don't know if we've seen that yet this season, as Dagger is a unit that I don't know if we've seen much at all in any league. As Lemure is going to start channeling, I think this is another haste on herself. Sealing Cleave is going to do 1,400. And this Dagger is honestly soaking up this damage incredibly well. I did not have my offensive passives on for this fight for my Grifford, as the Great Guillotine comes out for 4k. Going to mitigate some of that AP as well, and even as a caster, she is already down to 30 AP, and that is what some of that AP bleed strategies can do for you, as the double arc slash is going to start doing some damage. Lemure is going to heal my team up, though, and Grifford and Winter Ravies are going to try and end this fight, as Grifford's going to go for the standard attack. The Kiriga is going to land, and then Lemure is going to take another turn, actually, trying to get another hastage on the team, as the Great Guillotine does not quite finish off the Dagger, trolling me with 27 HP. Thinking that I could end the fight here. The standard attack will come out from Dagger, though. The Quicken actually is what it's going to be used, not the Guard Hasaja. And Winter Ravies does not choose to use her lightsaber. She is going to summon Titan, actually. And this is another Esper animation that we don't get to see all the time. I used Titan here because it does get increased spirit, and I thought this might be successful against his Black Rose Helena team. He did not bring Black Rose Helena. He still did bring a magic caster, but regardless, it ended up paying off for me. So huge shout out to King Delita. I unfortunately didn't get to voice chat with him this week However, I am very optimistic that I will make the playoffs, and I'm pretty confident that he will make the playoffs as well. So I'm hoping that maybe we get a little rematch and we can voice chat when we do get to play against each other that time too. So anyway, it was a heck of a fight. One thing I will say, we redid this fight after King Delita made one slight change. He said that he changed it right before our fight. It was basically a piece of equipment change that would have been generally tankier. Instead of running the Earth Ring on Oberon to mitigate any sort of lightning units I would have brought, he ended up actually winning that fight just barely. He did get some auto cure reactions that helped him, but it was an insanely close fight. So I am not, oblivious to the fact that this worked very well for me. But if he gets another chance at me, I'm going to have to give him everything I got, as he could easily take me out. So I enjoyed this fight, but that is all we have for this week, guys. And let's check out the standings. All right, guys, 6 weeks of fights over and done with for the Rundall League here, and this is how the standings look right now. Chisei, coach of Hopeless Heroes, still in first place with that 7-1 record, absolutely crushing it, already clinched a playoff spot, not too far away from clinching a first round bye as well. Itomanpr of the 139ers currently still sitting in second place, but managed to pick up a very close victory here this week, still controls his own destiny for the first seed. I don't have him marked as clinched from playoffs. I think there is literally only one scenario where he doesn't make it. Like, literally, I think the probability is less than 0.1% chance. But I don't think he's technically made it. Don't quote me on that. He might have actually clinched. I'm not 100% certain on that. My team, the Los Angeles Ramzas, and Sweetheart's team, the Fundamental Forces, both sitting at 5-2 at the moment. So we are currently tied for third. I believe either one of us would clinch with one more win. But again, not certain of that. King Delita and Quistis, though, both also have 5 wins. They just have one more loss in the column there. Fanatical Players and Cosplay Party currently tied for 5th place. They have not played each other. So important to note, all of these teams between 3rd and 6th have not really played each other in terms of the tiebreakers of the 2 teams that are tied. So that will definitely change as we go on, and the last few battles are going to be very, very important. However, Manta, coach of the Addison Manta Raes, really is going to try and still make the playoffs. He's only one loss behind from King Delita and Quistis. I believe he still plays Quistis. Not sure if he still plays King Delita, but he might have something to say about that in terms of whether or not he makes the playoffs. And Mr. Aloha of No Glove, No Love is not giving up yet. Picked up a win this week over Proto, which unfortunately for Proto kind of neuters his playoff chances here. But Mr. Aloha, jumping up into it, is still going to try and make it. It's going to be a tough climb, though. With a bunch of teams at 5-3 at the moment, only 11 teams in the league means only 10 battles happen. So if Mr. Aloha loses another battle, he cannot make it. He has to win out, and he has to win some sort of tiebreaker. So his playoff chances are very, very low. Same with Proto. Unhindered of Roar the Storm and AllSmokedUp with My Character Romance, unfortunately, will not be making the playoffs this season. But obviously, they're going to try and fight for pride and, try and win some of those battles through the rest of the season here. So that is how the standings shake out, guys. Next week, there's a very real possibility that we have a lot of clinched playoff teams. It depends on who beats who, but I think we're going to have a much better picture of who clinches and who will be in the playoffs after next week. But it's going to be interesting coming out of these last few weeks. We've got 4 different teams with 2 or less losses, so who gets a first round bye is also going to be very interesting. So stay tuned for that, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. We've got a couple more coming out for you this week. Until next time, have a wonderful day.